Those look so short.
I see Jack is in the studio as well there. Jack, I'll bring you on now in a few minutes.
Morning, Jack.
We can't hear you, but I will be able to hear you now in a few minutes. Okay, just give us a sec now. Morning, folks. My name is Mark Beggs, and this is Anne-Marie.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
And welcome to our International Dyslexia Conference. We're sorry for just a slight delay. We're live on Instagram, on 3 different accounts on Instagram. We're also live on Facebook. We're also live on Instagram, and we're also live on TikTok now in a second as well. So we've an awful lot of people who are joining us from all over the world. We have Australia, we have Ireland, we have the UK, we have the US, we have Singapore,
India,
New
Zealand, Australia. So we're delighted by the variety of people who are joining and from all parts of the world. And it is going to be recorded. So anybody who misses out or has to leave at any time during the day, they'll get a recording of the event also. And we're very excited because we have a lot of great speakers. We have a lot of people who are dyslexic themselves and who are making big changes in the world. And then we have a very young chap who's only 14, who's been brave enough to go out and start his own business with his granny. So we'll be talking to Jack in a little while. We're just waiting for a few more people to join because it's not quite 10 o'clock. So we don't want to kick off before people are actually ready.
Yeah.
So I suppose we'll tell you a little bit about who we are. So my name is Anne-Marie Beggs, for those of you who don't know me. In a previous life, I was a financial controller. And then 23 years ago, I changed career. And I trained as a dyslexia facilitator. And I've met an awful lot of interesting adults, children, teenagers. My youngest client has been 4, my oldest 84, and they've all taught me more than I've taught them. In reality, I would say you get to know an awful lot about a person when you work with them over an intensive period of time. As well as that, I've written a couple of books. So the first one is this one, A Bridge Between Two Me's, which I suppose followed my journey as an educator over the past 22 years. And if you're not sure, if you're only starting out on your journey and thinking about your child and wondering, might they be dyslexic, might they be dyspraxic, might they have issues with maths or ADHD, this is a great book because I've written it in very plain English. It's very easy to understand. One of my clients, his mum was Polish and her English was not that great, and she was able to read half of the book while she sat in the car waiting on her son. It also has insights into what does it feel like to go to school when you are dyslexic. So it follows one child through a diary entry from junior infants until they leave primary school, and how the longer in school you are in school, the more difficult the journey is. It doesn't become easier because the system hasn't changed. It becomes more difficult. It has some success stories from my students, and it has some stories that show you like how misunderstandings between students and teachers really affect students. The second book I wrote during lockdown, it was called Healthy Mind, Healthy Body. And it came about because I knew that I had students who were coming from very small classes. Some of them were autistic, and I knew that they weren't going to survive after 2 years of not going to school and then transitioning into senior school. So this program that I wrote was originally written for this small group of students, and it worked so well that I developed it into a full program and with a book to accompany it. So you can get the book and just work through it yourself if you have a child or if you're an adult, because the tips that are in the book and the steps that I go through are equally relevant for a child, a teenager, and an adult. But it was originally designed for teenagers because, as we all know, there's a huge increase in crisis in mental health among our young people, which isn't great, and we are trying to break that cycle. And Mark, my husband here, he's dyslexic. I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself before we start chatting to Jack.
How you doing, folks? Yeah, so I'm dyslexic. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 35 when I was doing a master's in Trinity College. So up to then, my schooling was terrible. Because my reading was so bad, my spelling was so bad. I was always the last child in the line when it came to spelling during primary school, and the one that got the cane across the hand for not learning my spellings, even though I did try to learn my spellings. I spent some time mitching from school. Mitching is leaving school without leave, and making up reasons why I couldn't go to school. And my leaving cert wasn't great. I didn't get into college. But I ended up working for myself from a very young age at 22. And my first company was in the UK. You and I would now call it Deliveroo. I had 11 restaurants that we'd live around Chelsea and Kensington, and I had some well-known clients. And I've also owned companies since then, advertising agencies, internet companies, DVD companies, cat food or pet food companies, and a range of other companies. So I've had a good few businesses, some done very well, some done very badly. As you would expect with being an entrepreneur, not every company and every business goes according to plan. You make some money, you lose some money, you make some money, you lose some money. And so I've written a couple of books. My first one is my business book, which is You Need an X Like a Jockey's to Be an Entrepreneur, which is more about your mental health and protecting your mental health when you do work for yourself. So making sure that when you do work for yourself, that you protect your mental health. And I have stories in there from different companies I've worked with, and different things that happen to myself. Some funny stuff, some serious stuff, and some suggestions on how you as a person can protect yourself if you're going to work for yourself. Because it's hard working for yourself. So I tell stories in there. I tell stories about how I got very lucky. One of the things I always say is I always ask people, do you have a summer job? Because I think every person, especially if you're dyslexic, should get a summer job. And I got very lucky that even though I was going through school where an awful lot of teachers telling me I was stupid and I couldn't read and I wasn't doing my homework and all that type of rubbish, my first summer job when I was about 14 was working on the car ferries. And I did that for 4 or 5 summers in a row. But suddenly, for the first time ever, I was having someone tell me how good I was at what I was doing. And I suddenly realized I was very good at figures. I realized that I knew exactly what stock to have because I used to run the T-bar, and the T-bar was open from 12 midnight till 6 o'clock in the morning. So everybody, all the rest of the staff on the ship would be in bed. The only place open was the T-bar. So we had sandwiches, we had crisps, we had tea and coffee, with club milks, all that type of stuff. So if you're going to be very busy, you had to make sure you had enough stock because you couldn't close the T-bar and go down to the storeroom because that was all locked up because everybody else was in bed. All the crew were in bed. So I suddenly realized that I was very good at figures. I was very good at working out exactly what stock I needed. I never ran out of stock. And the other interesting thing is I suddenly realized that I knew to the nearest euro or pound or punt then exactly how much cash I should have in the till at the end of every evening. So every morning somebody used to come around and do what they used to call a Z reading. They used to throw the key and do a reading to see how much was in the till. And I could nearly tell them before they did the reading, because I knew what exactly I sold, how many of each thing I sold. And that was my first time that people actually start saying to me, you know what you're doing, you're very good at your job, because ain't you very clever. No one in school had ever said that. So when I went back to school after my summer holidays, I went back not believing I was stupid, but believing that I had a skill set, and I probably didn't call it a skill set then, but I knew I could do certain things. So accountancy, I always flew at accountancy. There was one exam in school I always nailed. I always got A's in accountancy. The other one was religion. I got a religion, but there you go. I was good at religion. And we didn't have religion in the Leaving Cert then, so we had it, I would have got an A. So I knew exactly what my skill set was. And that sort of kept me going through the junior cert, fifth year and sixth year. Because even though people were still telling me I didn't do my homework, I didn't know, I couldn't understand stuff. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't do algebra. I couldn't understand why I couldn't do other stuff. There was no one had ever mentioned dyslexia. It wasn't a word being used then. But the summer job saved me. And that's why I say to an awful lot of people who have children who are dyslexic, getting a summer job and Jack will probably agree with me when we bring Jack on in a few minutes, doing a job when you're young, realizing you're very good at it, and you have an aptitude for it, can change how you think and how you see yourself. So that's really, really important.
Yeah, it gives you a boost.
It gives you a boost, yeah. Because I was coming off, I used to work a week on, a week off. So when I came off the car ferries after a week on, I was on a high. I was getting paid for something I love doing. I knew I could do it very well. So and other people in my class were earning maybe 30 or 40 pounds a week, cleaning off tables in the lounge bars and stuff like that. I was earning 180 plus tips. So I was doing good money. And
then you came up with a great solution to what did you sell?
So my second year on the car ferries, I was working in the restaurant as a wine waiter. And one thing I learned was that the Americans don't like paying for things that ain't included in the packages. So the Americans will come on the car ferries, come from the UK over to Ireland, and they would only eat in the restaurant exactly what was already paid for, included in the package. So I became the first person in Europe to start selling water, even before Ballygown, because I suddenly started selling all the Americans and charged them €1 for water, or £1 then, because otherwise they were ordering off me. I was running back and forwards, giving them water and earning no money. So I started selling water to the Americans, and I was the first person in Europe to sell bottled water. And the other thing I learned very quickly was the Americans do not like change. So at that stage, the new English pound coin had come out, and it's a heavy little coin, if anybody remembers English pound coins. So if they gave me a fiver or a tenner, I would give them back £9 in coins. And because they didn't like the coins, and the Americans had no value on the coins, they left them on the table as a tip for me. So I done very well. So that's what working for a summer job does for you. It shows you certain skills. It gets you to think differently. And if you don't like school, it's another way of showing you other skills you have. And the other thing I've done is I've written children's books, The Umbrella Girls. So these are written for children who are dyslexic and children who are not dyslexic. And all my proofreaders in the books are young children. So I got young children, some are dyslexic, some are not, to proofread all my books. We've 3 out at the moment. There will be 10. So it's a whole story, a whole series, one story going through the whole series. Because they're written for people who are dyslexic, the stories are small. So basically, I've kept the book small. The writing is spread out.
Not too many words.
Not too many words per page. Because one of the worst things for someone who's dyslexic is when you read and you see all these words on the page. That's why certain authors I can read no problem. Jeffrey Archer, Linda LaPlatte, I can read their books very fast.
Yeah, they're well spaced.
They're well spaced out. Other authors I cannot read. I fall asleep after the first page because I'm mentally and physically tired from trying to remember what the story was about. So, and then
And you also have a podcast.
But the thing is, you see the covers are the same. So this is episode 1. This is episode 2. The reason I've kept the covers the same is they're anti-anxiety covers. Because if you know an awful lot of children in school, when you have a textbook, say textbook in maths, and you have a big 1 on the front cover or a big 2 or 3 or 4, one of the things with children is if they are only on book 1 because it's taken them a while to read book 1, and someone beside them is on book 4 or book 2, it gives them an awful lot of anxiety that they may be behind. They may be a bit slower than someone else. So this way, if you're reading these 2 books side by side with someone else in your class, it's only written down here very small what episode you're on. So you don't feel under pressure to be on a different book. And that was the whole aim of it. Also, you need to contact Amory and I. We have a podcast. Our podcast you can find them on both the website. You'll see the website there now on the screen, paragraphchallenge.com. If you need any information, as Amory said, everyone that's on today we'll get a recording later on of all our speakers. But if you need any help, advice, suggestions, you can either email myself, markbeggs@gmail.com, or amorybegs@gmail.com. Or just go on to Paragraph Challenge and just fill in the comment box.
Yeah, and we'll get back to you.
And the other thing we'll say to you is we do have a workshop on the 23rd of October. If you want to pre-register for that workshop and get more information on that workshop, just go onto our homepage and just click on the button there to get more information. And there'll be more information going out to people over the next few days about that workshop. It's called Practical Steps of Supporting Dyslexia at Home and at School. So we're not going to go into an awful lot of details on it today, because we have some fantastic speakers. As I said, we have young Jack Duggan coming on now in 2 minutes, who's only 14. Then Amory is going to talk about dyslexia. Then we have an international artist and philanthropist, Mark Stoddard, who has been helping, who's dyslexic himself, and also has been helping develop an awful lot of schools around the world and campaigning and fundraising for an awful lot of help for young people who are dyslexic and people who need education and all that type of stuff.
He's been donating to charities for 35 years, a vast range of charities. So he's a long-term philanthropist. And as Mark said, he's written a book called Making a Mark, and all the proceeds of that go to Dyslexia Scotland. But he's done lots of other things too. The list is too long to mention, but we'll be chatting to Mark later on in the morning. So first of all, we'd like to welcome Jack.
I'm going to bring Jack on now. Jack, I'm going to click this button here. Hopefully I get it right. There you are. You're on stage now, Jack. Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad, and yourselves?
I'm good. You have a great name, Jack. Like Jack Duggan. You could nearly get someone to play you in a movie.
So Jack has a business with his granny called JM Cakes. Is that correct, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose I first came across Jack earlier this year on. Sorry, Mark's playing something in the background there. On Instagram, and I connected with Jack because I do a lot of work with teenagers, and a lot of us have great ideas, I think, when we're teenagers, and I'll do this, that, and the other. But to actually go out and set up a business when you're a teenager is it's not an easy thing to do. And when I saw Jack's pictures and of his delicious cakes that he was making with his granny, I knew that I wanted to connect with Jack and have a chat with him and see how it all came about. So when did you start making the cakes, Jack?
Well, I baked the first cake in lockdown.
Okay. And why did you start baking during lockdown? Was it because you were bored, or?
Yeah, I was awful bored.
You're awful bored. If you're a teenager, it was pretty boring. And has your granny always baked?
Yeah, Nana grew up in a house of baking.
Yeah, very good. And so you always enjoyed her home cooking, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing that your Nana makes?
Probably the apple tart to the treacle.
The apple tarts, yeah, very good.
Yeah, I
I
read
mean,
about that. They sound really nice now. They sound really nice.
I
Yeah,
can identify with that. I'm a lot older than you, but my granny also made apple tarts, and she made them on a plate, and we still make the apple tarts the same way she made them. And everyone
yeah.
always enjoys the apple tarts. And when did the idea of a business come about, Jack?
Well, so after that day I made the first cake, I kind of thought baking was interesting. So then Nana kind of showed me how to do a few bits. And then I wanted to learn how to make cookies. So I tried a good few times, and half the times they turned out like bricks. But then there was one time when I made them and they turned out lovely. They were soft and chewy. So I was awful proud of myself, and I was only young at the time. And I went out and I brought mom's knitting table out with me, and I set up a table outside the house with cookies for €1. And a few people stopped in, and then I kind of liked it. And then Nana was saying, well, if you want, I can bake a few brown breads for you and stuff as well. So then I kind of just went on from there, and we got more popular around the locals and stuff. So now it's a thing we do every Saturday. And like we have the regulars that come to us.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. I mean, I can identify with the issues with the cookies. So I used to teach. So for most of my time, I teach kids who are either dyslexic or dyspraxic, dyscalculic, ADD. So I have specialist programs that I do for that. But in the 2 afternoons a week, I used to do cooking classes and summer camps. And like most of the kids who came to me, they didn't have a weighing scales or anything in their house. They'd never ever baked cookies. And sometimes when they'd never baked anything actually, but sometimes when I'd do the cookies with them, some kids would be lovely and some kids would be like, they'd spread out really flat and, like you said, be a bit like a brick. Anyway, I always made delicious cookies. So I've been making them for years. And my daughter said, can you make me some cookies for the bake sale in school, because everyone loves your cookies. I made the cookies and they were desperate because I think I'd used a different, because in the ones I make, you use brown sugar and white sugar, and I used the wrong brown sugar. I'm sure they spread out into puddles. My daughter goes, I'll have to lie and say I didn't get time to bake anything. That would be embarrassing if I bring them in. So you do have to be careful with the cookies.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not.
hard to perfect.
They actually are. Like it's much easier for me to make cupcakes and apple tarts and stuff.
Yeah.
The the cookies are, yeah. You have to have the right sugar. You have to have the right egg. The oven has to be, because my oven's a bit temperamental as well, Jack. So
Yeah, so is ours. It's starting to become a bit temperamental.
and mine's is hotter at one side than the other. So
Yeah.
So do you see? So like you prefer doing this, Jack, than going to school, don't you?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So and how do you find school?
Well, I was never really gone on school. Like, it's not something that I enjoy, you know, but it has to be done.
Has to be done. Yeah, yeah. But like having said that, like your ambition is like you've a horse box, haven't you?
Yeah.
That you want to do up.
Yeah.
And the idea being what, when you do that up, what are you going to do with it?
Well, we do it up into kind of like a portable bakery kind of thing, or and a coffee shop. So like we'd be able to kind of go to shows and stuff like that, and there'd be kind of desserts and tea and coffee, you know. And we'd definitely stay out here though every Saturday. But I rather leave school and kind of just go on the road with the horse box and kind of go over Ireland and stuff like that.
Right. And so you're hoping, like, your plan is to do the junior cert and hopefully then go out and do your business full time. Is that right?
Yeah, hopefully now.
So do you see yourself training as a chef?
Not really a chef, no. I think it's a lot of pressure to be a chef. Sometimes I need to be watching Gordon Ramsay. But like
Yeah.
I rather
when go on, Jack. Sorry.
I rather kind of have my own thing, do you know what I mean? Instead of
Sure.
work, like I wouldn't mind doing. I was working in a bakery over the summer for a few days out in Clifton. It's called Walsh's Bakery, and I was doing a bit of a work experience and stuff there. But it was good now. But I rather kind of have my own thing, do you know?
Yeah.
And like, were you working full time in the bakery?
Well, not full time, no. Well, I was working downstairs and they were showing me the machines and stuff like that and kind of letting me help them out with things. I think it was 2 or 3 days I went. So, but they weren't full days. They were like from, I think, like 9 to 1 or something like that.
Right. And how did you find that?
Oh, I loved it.
So you like the whole atmosphere of the whole business
Yeah,
from being there.
yeah.
Right. And where do you, so where you sell your cakes and your breads and all, is that in your garden or outside your house, or where's that based, Jack?
It's just outside the driveway.
Just outside the driveway. Very good. And how many customers would you have is it a Saturday? Yeah.
Yeah, every Saturday. Well, it depends, you see, because some a good few people might come, but they might only get 1 or 2 bites. But then, like, 2 people could come and they could buy loads of bits, so it kind of ranges every week. But we always have the same people who come to us every week because they
So you
come to
have,
us for their weekly bread and stuff.
yeah.
Brilliant. We've an awful lot of people on here, Jack, saying well done and congratulations to you. We have Sinead Conroy and other people saying what else is someone saying? Brilliant, 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 well done. Who they say you can play yourself. You don't need another actor to play it in the movie. Okay. So there's a lot of people coming in there saying how great it is.
Thanks a
And
million.
yeah,
Yeah.
so again, say anybody wants to drop down to him, he's willing to bake more and sell more. Isn't that right?
Yeah,
So does yourself and your nana share the baking?
yeah.
Yeah. So do you have a speciality and she has some things that she always bakes?
Yeah, so she'll make the brown breads, the treacles, and the apple tarts, and I'll make all the sweet things then, like cookies, brownies, cakes, all them kind of bits.
Very good.
Right.
And how long do you spend cooking? Like how long do you bake them all on a Friday for Saturday, or what way do you do it?
Yeah, we do it. Oh, we do it all on the Friday, and then sell Saturday morning. But it depends, because sometimes we might get other orders on top of what we have to bake for Saturday, like So it all
Yeah.
ranges every weekend.
So how are you getting orders? Do you have a website?
No, well, we have the Instagram and stuff, so some people will just text us on the number, or they'll text us on Instagram or stuff like that.
Very
Yeah.
good. And so anyone listening now, Jack? Because some people have asked, one or two people have asked, have you got a website? Do you have pictures of your cakes? If somebody is thinking of ordering some cakes, maybe, and somebody wants to pay to convert your box for you, even better.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram handle?
The Instagram is jm.duggan.
jm.duggan. So anyone listening now, jm.duggan. If you're looking, and you have pictures of your cakes and all up there, don't you, Jack?
He does. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few bits. And then on TikTok, there's a few recipes.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen you on TikTok. So are you showing people how to make them?
Well, it's more so just the measurements and telling them how to mix it. Now when I'm doing recipes like that, I don't normally go in them myself. It's kind of just pictures and you swipe through. But there's other ones, and then we talk about other bits in it. You know,
Yeah. Very good. So can you give me a list of what would you sell on a typical Saturday, Jack?
we'd have the brown bread, treacle bread, apple tarts, brownies, cookies. Then we might have cakes like coffee cake, carrot cake, or lemon drizzle,
Very
and
good.
yeah, kind of them kind of bits. And the muffins. We normally have 3 types of muffins: the chocolate muffins, chocolate chip, and raspberry and white chocolate chip.
Tell you must be very busy on a Friday, Jack.
Yeah,
So do you go to school on Friday as well?
yeah, I have to.
So what time do you finish school at?
Well, school, we have half days on Fridays, so it's not too bad. We finish at
Okay,
20
yeah,
past one.
yeah. I was thinking
And then,
otherwise it'd be all night.
yeah, and then I get the bus home, and then then I'll be home, I say, around 2 o'clock. And then I kind of start from there.
Very good. And last week, were you at some festival or something? I
Yeah,
saw.
the Galway Docklands Festival.
Yeah. And how did that go?
Mighty, we sold out.
Well
You sold
done.
out. Wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And did you sell out fast, or like we had gone after a few hours?
Well, now it's you see, we had a show before that. It's the Currendullah show, and that's like very big. As I said, it could be nearly one of the biggest ones in Galway. But
Right.
you see, that day we sold out. I think it was in less than 3 hours or something like that, and we'd like at 70 cookies and 120 brownies. We had loads that day, like. But we knew
Yeah,
this one wouldn't be as busy, so we didn't bake as much. But this one we were there for 11, and then we were sold around 4. You see, it wouldn't be as busy now. It's kind of people kind of just walking up and down, you know.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And would you have regular customers there who order every week off you and who
yeah,
turn outside the door waiting for the food?
yeah. There's 2 old couples that come to us every week.
Very good. And what time
Yeah.
do you start at, Jack?
So we start from 10:30, and if we don't sell out before that, we close at 3 o'clock.
Okay, very good.
Right, okay.
So it's yeah, so it's a long day for the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does your nana enjoy it as much as you?
Well, now normally I'll do the selling. Now Nana will come out sometimes, kind of pop over for a while for a little chat. But see, she might get cold if she stays out there too long.
Okay,
So
that's right, yeah, she
yeah.
would.
So I normally
So
do the
she's
selling, but
she's the
so
support. She does the
yeah.
breads. And, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Very,
she likes the bacon part though. Just I
yeah,
say not so much the selling,
yeah,
you
absolutely,
know.
yeah.
And as a matter of interest, doing this, like working for yourself at your age, do you think it has helped you with your schooling? Like, has it made your maths better or your English better? Or has it helped you in some way with the crossover between school and getting all these recipes and selling them and making sure you're buying the stock and all that type of stuff?
Well, in primary school, I had a lovely teacher. She brought me out for special help with maths, and that like brought me on a good bit. She was lovely. But see, then in secondary school, there's not as much support because there's like way more kids. So it's not as easy to kind of.
Yeah,
But I say in primary school definitely because that one teacher she helped me along with like, and she knew about the business, so she'd kind of help me with money. She'd bring in some change, and she'd be, well, if I give you this, how much do I need back, kind of, But
yeah,
not really so much in secondary school though.
yeah. I think money is a problem for people to understand now because not many kids like use cash anymore. So
Yeah,
it's kind of just a vague idea in their head. But I know a lot of my students don't enjoy questions with money, and because
yeah,
they're not running a business,
yeah,
they don't see the benefits of understanding it either. Because
yeah,
people just have their cards, and so it's kind of a vague notion,
yeah,
not something they think that's that important. Yeah, but I do agree with you that if you find the right teacher, it can make a big difference
yeah,
to someone's life. And secondary schools, yeah, the support's
yeah,
not great,
yeah. Not
unfortunately.
really.
No. So, how do your parents feel about your idea of leaving school to set up your own business, Jack?
Well, now they don't mind it. You see, Dad dropped out as well when he was young, and now he has his own business, so he kind of understands. But they said, I have to pass the junior cert. If I fail it, I have to stay in school.
All right.
You
So to
know.
motivate you. So
Yeah, exactly.
are you doing it? Are you doing it this coming June, the junior cert, Jack?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Very good. Okay. And is
Yeah.
there any subjects that you do enjoy in school?
Um, and well, you see, this it's not because of the subjects. It's more so the people that are in the class. Some
Okay.
of them are good crack, like.
Okay. So you have some good friends in school that you
Yeah,
enjoy socializing with, I suppose.
yeah,
That's very important when you're a teenager to have
yeah,
people to socialize with.
yeah.
And you had to take some time off school now too, which I'd say was terrible this morning to come and talk to
Oh,
us.
devastated.
I can
I
only
can tell
imagine.
you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think even kids who like do reasonably well in school and enjoy school are glad to have time off because it doesn't
Yeah,
for teenagers now. I think it's just not interesting enough that
yeah,
it's not that relevant to their lives. I think a lot of people feel it. So
yeah,
you're following in the entrepreneurial footsteps of your dad, then.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not a baker, I'm guessing.
Oh no, he does metal roofing.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. We live in a very old house, so we know all about roofs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And do you have brothers and sisters, Jack?
Yeah, I have two sisters and three brothers and a nephew.
And are any of them doing the same thing you're doing?
Oh no. Well, now my youngest brother, I'm the second youngest. So my youngest brother, he loves farming and stuff and the metal roofing, so he's always kind of gone with dad. Then my sister, she's a year and a half older than me, and she loves football. She was playing for Galway there and stuff. So
Oh,
we all kind of have our own interests, like you know. And then my
yeah, that's
oldest sister, she's 26 and she's out in Australia doing something with
oh,
science, I think.
oh,
All
very
right, very
good.
good, very good.
Yeah,
You probably miss her then. How long has
yeah.
she been in Australia?
She's been there a few years now, I think, maybe 2 or 3.
Oh, very
All
good.
right,
Yeah, it's a long way.
there is.
You have to be
Yeah,
brave to go to that long,
Not long.
that far
And
away.
yeah.
we've seen Avril Burns says, congratulations, well done, Jack. Keep up the good work. And
Oh, thank you.
Sinead Connery said, hi, Jack. Do you have to do a language like Spanish in secondary school?
Oh yeah, yeah, you have to do a language. Well, now if you're dyslexic or you struggle awfully bad with them, you don't have to do a language. But other than that, then you do have to. I do Spanish myself.
And do you enjoy the Spanish or do you find it difficult?
I find it difficult. It's not
Yeah,
great now.
yeah. My son didn't enjoy languages either. He thought it was very funny because he had an exemption from Irish because he was dyslexic, but he
Yeah,
still had to do a language.
yeah,
So he would rather kept up the Irish because he was better at that than he was at the French.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. So anyway, sometimes some of the rules sometimes don't make sense, do they, Jack?
No.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
assuming you're going to do well in the junior cert, what's the plan for the next couple of years?
Well, I'd love to go traveling as well. That's
Very
another
good.
thing I'd love to do. I was in Canada with Nana and my sister. We came home at the start of September. No, it was the 11th of September we came home and left. I think it was the 31st of August, but it's gorgeous over there. I'd love to go back again.
Lovely. Very good. And would you go to visit your sister, or is that too far?
Well, I don't really know. Depends if she's back or not. You know,
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't. I
so you don't
now
know
when I
what
was
her long-term plans are.
Yeah, not really. Now I know when I was younger, I did always want to go to Australia, but you see, I don't know, do I want to anymore, do you know? But
Yeah,
I'd love to go to America, Canada, Paris, kind of all those places.
yeah. You're dead
Yeah,
right. You might as well see the world, Jack. I love traveling as
yeah,
well. And
yeah.
identify. And so would you do the traveling before or after you do your horse box? Or during?
Well, what I do is when I drop out, hopefully we'll have the horse box done up for when I drop out, if I do drop out,
Okay.
hopefully. But then I'd kind of go, I said I'd go and work for a while, but then I'd take a year out and go traveling, you know, kind of save
Yeah.
my money and then go traveling.
I'm going to say that you need to save money to travel, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Very good. Sounds like you have a plan. And who's going to help you with the whole renovation of the horse box? Your
Oh,
dad?
dad, definitely.
Yeah. He's a good DIY man, is he?
Oh, very good.
You wouldn't want to be relying on Mark here. He's terrible at DIY.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to help you at all, Jack.
No, I'm completely the opposite.
Oh gosh. Anyway, well, I suppose we better let you get back to school because I know you're dying to get there,
Yeah,
Jack.
I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
you have your bag packed and you're rushing out the door already.
Oh,
So
yeah.
will you be going on the bus? Can they lift or walking?
I'll probably have to get Nana to drop me down. The bus
All
went
right.
I said about 2 hours ago, 2 or 3.
Or- Are you living in a rural area, Jack?
Well, 15 minutes away from the school. We live in the countryside, and then
Yeah.
the school is in a small town. It's in Headford.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so they don't. There's not buses every few minutes like in Dublin.
no, not really. Now there is ones that do go to Headford. See, I don't know the times, you know,
All
but
right. Okay. So Nana's going to drive you anyway.
yeah.
So I'd say you're going to be rushing there. Now, will you have a cup of tea or will you just go straight away now, Jack?
I'll definitely have a cup of tea, anyways.
I guessed that. Because that's what I do as well, Jack. I have my cup of tea beside me.
Yeah.
Oh
Sure,
yeah,
if you're already late, Jack, there's no harm being a bit later, is there?
exactly.
Yeah.
The
Um,
the woman in the office, when you go in, you have to get late slips, and she knows my name from last year now on my form and everything.
I just don't like you.
so she probably has them pre-printed, ready for you.
Wait,
I'd say so.
he had a nurse in the school and he visited her a lot during the day for
Yeah,
chat to say there's never much wrong with him. I think he just comes for chat.
yeah,
But yeah, everybody knew him, all the receptionists, all the teachers, yeah.
oh yeah,
But sure, being able to talk to people is the most important thing anyway, Jack. Having
yeah.
and you've got that down.
Yeah. So, and have you got more chatty since you started your own business and selling to people? Do you find
Sorry?
it? Have you got more chatty since you started your own business by talking to people and
Oh
pushing
yeah,
your case?
definitely. I got because when I was younger, I was awful shy. That's what mom and dad always used to say. But when you're kind of dealing with customers for a good while and you get the locals, you're kind of more chattier then.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. It gives you some confidence and it just
Yeah,
becomes more natural, I suppose. I was very
yeah,
quiet when I was younger. I used to have to think of topics to talk about.
yeah,
But once you're working in any job where you're dealing with the public, you're kind of
yeah,
forced to. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. So anyway, best of luck with your future plans, Jack.
Thanks a
Um,
million.
and I hope there's going to be millions of people now ordering your cakes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Do you want to give the Instagram handle again? Because we've
Yeah,
other people in mind now.
it's jm.duggan.
Okay, jm.duggan. So if anybody wants to order cakes or they want to see the work that Jack does, jm.duggan. And what is your handle on TikTok?
I'll check it now. I don't know that one off by heart.
No problem.
It's JM Cakes 19.
JM Cakes 19. So if anybody wants to see any recipes on TikTok and recipes that Jack is doing, that's where to go. So I assume you're going to do more and more on TikTok and actually start talking on some of them as well, are you? Is that the plan
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, now we do talk in a few of them, but some of them are easier just to kind of take pictures of. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier though to have time for TikTok in the summer. You know,
Oh,
that's the best time
definitely
for it.
is. Yeah. Because it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
distracting. Yeah.
Yeah. And it
yeah.
takes a while to do a TikTok and to get it right and
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
in such a way that people actually will look at it.
And he needs to be
Yeah.
studying junior cert. Okay. It was really nice speaking to you, Jack.
Thanks a million.
No, it's
When
brilliant.
we're in Galway, we'll have to pop down to see you some Saturday.
Oh, do of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sample your lovely cakes and talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll let you
Thank
go.
you.
And take care. And thanks again, Jack.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
We'll see.
See you soon.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, Jack.